Hello, everyone. It's Denise Hansard, and welcome to my conversation. Um, did you know that everything in your life results from what you're fearing? Think about it. The imposter syndrome that you feel, it's really because you're afraid that someone is going to discover you're not as good as you think you are, or you seem, or you come across. You see, you feel like you're faking it most of the time, right? Yeah. Or that procrastination that stops you from completing the project that you desperately want to finish. You lose focus, you kick yourself for letting your squirrel mind begin to wander off task, and then you find yourself moving on to something else, never quite getting that momentum back that you had before. You feel stuck. You're scratching your head, wondering why you can't think of something to get you out of this rut. You've listened to podcasts, you've read all the motivation and leadership books, and yet here you are in the same place. All you want is for someone to tell you what to do. And let's not forget about the anger that you're holding inside. You're bottling it up, just waiting for it to explode out. And if it's not anger, guys, it's a feeling of loss and emptiness that you just can't seem to shake. Yet you brush it off and keep going until exhaustion hits, and then you cycle back through the anger, the tears, the feeling lost, and then just pushing through it all, doing it all over again. So, what's going on, really, guys? What is it? You see, it's all about your fear. You're listening to your head telling you to push through it because you're strong. You can do this. You've got it. Don't worry. It'll be all okay. And yet, you're not facing what's really going on here, which is the fear that's telling you to just keep doing the same thing that you've been doing over and over again. And if you don't look at your fear and come at it head on, learn to work with it, or as I like to say, dance with your fear and lead it, nothing's ever going to change. Think about that. I mean, the job you're trying to get, the advancement that you want in your career, the new business clients, the dream of completing your book, starting your organization or company, none of those things are going to happen or happen for you unless you decide to change yourself. And I know what you're thinking. You're going, Denise, I've been changing myself. I've taken all the self-development courses that I've done. I've even gone through some coaching programs before, and I've listened to all the motivational tapes. And yet, all I can tell you is this: congratulations for working on yourself. That's a great thing. And at the same time, why are you still struggling? What's keeping you in the struggle mode? And I'm going to tell you why. You're struggling because you tried to think your way through the challenges. You've allowed your mind to take over. And that's where your fear is, guys. That's where your fear takes over and has you holding back, not grabbing on the way that you want to. And yet, no matter how many books you read, how many self-development courses you take, no matter how many motivational meditation tapes you do, until you learn to dance with your fears, I've said, nothing's ever going to change. Trust me on that one. Been there, done that. And let me tell you a story. One of my clients, I'm going to call her S because I don't give away personal information. She was a high-powered executive. She'd climbed that corporate ladder and she was exactly where she wanted to be. And on the outside, it was great. Everybody looked at her, wanted to be her, wanted to be just like her. And yet on the inside, and you know where I'm going with this story, she was crumbling on the inside. She felt like a fraud. She felt like a fraud. She constantly worried that someone was going to find out her secret, that she wasn't as competent as she seemed to be on the outside. She appeared. Sometimes she would find herself procrastinating on those major projects that she had. She let her fear begin to paralyze her. And every day was a battle between pushing through and feeling like she was barely holding on. That's when she sought out me and what she wanted to go on because she couldn't go this way any longer. And we worked together. And she learned to recognize what she was really, really fearing on the outside, on the inside, because it wasn't what most people would think on the outside. It was really just noise from her ego, as I've said. So we began working together, shifting her mindset from one of an ego base to one of a heart centered one. And she started listening to her intuition. She had shut down her intuition, which is what a lot of us do. We are intuitive, and yet we have suddenly started listening to our head and our fear and shut down our intuition. And her intuition were her true desires and not the constant nagging of the ego. And I got to tell you, the work that we did was incredible. She began to take bold steps in her career. She spoke up for herself in meetings, not afraid to do so. And she took on new projects with confidence. Her procrastination was like minimal. Occasionally it happens because it still tends to sink in, but she knew what to do to make it, to let go of it. And she started seeing some real progress with herself. And one of the better things or the greatest things that she told me is she had this sense of peace and fulfillment that she hadn't felt in years. This can be your story if that's what you want. And let me tell you the science behind it all. And I'm going to make it really, really simple. I'm not going to go into a bunch of terms. I'm just going to keep it extremely simple because I like things simple. Your mind, this beautiful brain that you have, it houses your ego. And the only job that the ego has is to keep you safe. And trust me, we need it upon occasion. We needed it even more so back when life was really about survival, the caveman days, the Wild West days. But now it's kind of bled over into keeping you stuck, keeping you safe from stepping outside your comfort zone. Yeah. And when you think about going for that new job or career, or starting that new business, or even finishing your book, your ego starts to yell at you and go, "Don't do that. You're going to fail like you did before. Don't worry. I've got you. I've got you." And trust me, no one's going to pay you for what you're giving away for free right now. But it's okay. I'm taking care of you. Don't do anything different. Or even the ego has that more subtle voice of, "Hey, take a break. Why don't you just go zone out? Netflix, go on LinkedIn, Facebook, pretend you're looking for something business related. Or, hey, how about we just go over here and start this other thing? It's a simpler thing. You don't have to worry about it. We got this." That's the ego. That's the ego. And guys, I'm going to tell you, your ego lies to you all the time. I'm going to say that again. Your ego lies to you every single time. And the ego feeds your fears because fears come from your ego. It's a vicious cycle, that little, 8 infinity sign. And this is all about your mindset and your heart. Once you get in touch with your heart, that strength within you, it's going to tell you what you want, what you need to keep motivated and keep you going. I mean, because this is where this is where your dreams come from. And when you're able to listen to your heart, have a conversation with your ego, but don't let your ego and your fear, drive everything. That little shift of coming from your heart first instead of your head, it requires a mindset shift. I'm not going to clean this up. You've just got it the way it is. Because changing your mindset so it becomes second nature is the key to learning how to dance with your fear and leading your fear, not allowing it to lead you. And guys, this is what I do best. I help you get out of your head and into your heart, which is your strength, your intuition, your superpower. And that's why I wanted to tell you about the program I've created, the What's Next Jumpstart program. It's a 6-week program where I work with you in a group, helping you to shift your mindset, learn to dance with your fear, and gain clarity on what to do next. Here's the deets. We'll meet for an hour every week. You get homework in between just to kind of keep you going with it. We meet in Telegram, a very safe app, mobile or desktop, to keep us connected. That's where you can get immediate questions answered by me, coaching, whatever you need. You share wins, you can ask questions as much as you need to. This program is limited to 12 people. so you receive the attention you need. All you have to do is just ask for it. The program itself is $997 if you pay it in full, or you can make 3 monthly payments of $375. And if you pay in full, I'm going to give you a 30-minute call with me after the program to help make sure that everything we went through is sticking with you. So you can have that individualized attention with everything. We're going to start on September 5th, 2024. Our calls themselves will be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So do the math, whatever it is, only for an hour, and they're going to be via Zoom. So I'll capture everything in Zoom. You get the replays in case you can't be there with it. And I'm going to tell you now that you want to secure your place today because the spots are going to fill up fast. So the link is below in the description box, and you don't want to miss out on this. And this program is for anyone struggling with procrastination, imposter syndrome, lack of focus, anxiety, worry, and more. Remember, you can be like S. You can have her story or one similar to it. It's really all about shifting your mindset, learning to dance with your fear, because fear is behind everything that has us struggling, and allowing our dance with our fear, allowing us to lead it to success in everything. So if you have any questions, just email me. I'm at Denise@denisehansard.com. And if this is calling to you guys, don't overthink it. That's just your ego lying to you, trying to keep you safe by not getting you outside your comfort zone. So look at the link down below. Take the first step towards your transformation and do it now.